What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review for Cartel Crew Season 2, Episode 9. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. So, we start this episode off with the fellas are headed to LA. Magic Mike. Magic Mike. I just caught that one. Magic, Mike, and Eddie are on their way to LA. They're having a big launch of the Blanco weed strand. I guess I wasn't clear in last week's episode because, you know, I don't know about these things. But they actually cultivated this strand. They've been growing it. They've been cultivating it. They've been doing all that. So they didn't just somebody didn't just name some weed after Blanco. After, you know, Cartel Crew Blanco, whatever. They actually cultivated this strand. And so they're having sort of a launch party where they're going to be inviting, as the man said, the best lungs in the business to come and try it out. Tell them if they like it, if it's some skunk. I do know that word, skunk. Or if it's some fire. You know what I'm saying? So, the ladies are still in San Diego. So, the plan is that the ladies are going to fly up to LA and meet with the fellas. Now, only Diana, Kat, and Marie are going to LA. Now, what I thought was so sad, y'all know I really like this Eddie guy. I don't know nothing about Eddie. But I really do like Eddie. And I think Eddie's beautiful. Oh, that's a beautiful specimen of a man, Kat. But he had never been on a plane before. And I'm thinking to myself, that is part of the problem. This man has never been on a plane. He's a grown-ass man. Anyway, so I'm glad he had that opportunity to get on a plane and fly to LA. So we'll get back to them. Down to the San Diego, the ladies are having a going away meal. They're all dressed up. They're looking all cute, and they're having this meal. And of course, they're reminiscing on what they found out. They bring up the story of the woman. I didn't really bring her up in last week's review. Whose children attempted suicide because their father got deported and so forth. And Betty shared with them that she went through the same thing, that when her father got deported, she tried to commit suicide. She said how that was when her father tried to sneak back into the country to check on her. He got caught. He got deported again. Then she said she tried to talk her mom into moving to wherever her dad got deported to. Her mama wasn't trying to do that. Well, I don't blame her mama for not wanting to do that. But they ended up, so they end up basically reminiscing on a recapping. I almost say reminiscing, sort of recapping their whole trip, and just they're all moved by it. They've all been affected by what they saw, and really want to do better, and that was what Kat was saying. Look, we all have a home to go home to. We have family. We need to really cherish that and really understand how blessed we really are. Now, in this, somehow or another, Stephanie and her friend, I forget the lady. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The girl where they staying. They end up bringing up the situation with the woman with the baby that needs the medical attention. Now, let me be clear. I agree with what Stephanie was saying. I feel like you could have told that woman, I feel like you could have just not said anything. And then if you were able to come through and you were able to get her the help she needed, then that would have been great. But in the situation that she's in, the last thing she needs is for someone to make promises to her that she may or may not be able to keep. And I understand where Stephanie was coming from. 100%. I really did. And I don't even think Stephanie's delivery was bad in the beginning. I think Stephanie, she started off by saying, hey, I know you had the best of intentions, but I really wish you hadn't promised that woman. Now, Betty's point of view is, I'm going to make it happen. Whatever I set my mind to do, I'm going to do. She said, if it takes me till I'm 50 years old, I'm going to get that woman help. But I don't think you were missing the point. The point isn't that you're going to try your damnedest. Understanding the climate that we are in this country, understanding everything, all the red tape, everything you would have to go through, everything a doctor would have to go through. First, you got to find a doctor that's willing to do the surgery. Then you have to find a doctor that, it's a lot of layers to that. I don't think that Betty was making false promises, but what I think is that Betty should not have told that woman what she was going to do. She should have just done it. Anyway, of course, it erupted because Betty felt like Stephanie was questioning her character. And then Kat and Marie, who were not there, they felt like Stephanie was beating up on Betty. And that's when it did start getting a little, because Stephanie started she was cutting Betty off and she was getting loud. Y'all know how Stephanie is. Then Stephanie got mad because she felt like, Maria and Kat, especially Kat being her friend, that they were not supporting her, and that she was right. And here's where the issue is, Stephanie. You expressed yourself. Whether people agreed or not, it was already done at that point. Like, Betty had already said it. So you said your point. You made your point. She didn't agree with it. Move on. But it didn't. It erupted, and then Betty got up, honey, and she got the yelling and throwing stuff, and then Stephanie got then they got the art. Then they was ready to fight. Y'all know how they do. So now Stephanie's inside the house with the other lady, the one whose house they're staying at. Diana's in there talking to them, and y'all know Diana don't see it for Stephanie anyway. So in her mind, it's Stephanie's fault. Stephanie. Now outside, you have Kat, you have, the rest of the lady shit. And Kat is trying to play, she's trying to bring everybody back down and smooth it out. And, Kat said, look, Stephanie is still my friend, and I get it. But maybe the way she said it, she said, but at the end of the day, I don't think hope is a bad thing. I don't think giving them hope is a bad thing. But she did tell Betty, maybe you didn't have to get so rowdy, you escalated. Let's calm down. Let's talk it out. We can agree to disagree and move on. Y'all know Kat trying to be the matchmaker. And of course, Maria's like, yeah, but Stephanie Stephanie was beating up on her. They were bullying her, which again, I didn't see it that way. I really didn't. Now, that is where my defense of Stephanie ends. Okay? They're in the house, and Stephanie is still yelling and going off and getting loud because, again, when Stephanie thinks she's right, it doesn't matter. Anybody else's opinion just does not matter. So now she's getting loud and rowdy, and Betty is like, I'm not staying here. I'm going to get a hotel room because they're fake, and I'm not staying in this girl's house because she's fake. So and I 100%, now I take that back. I am about to defend Stephanie a little bit because I understood 100% where Stephanie was coming from. Stephanie had her back to the door, which is, shouldn't have your back to the door. But Betty comes walking in and walks right past Stephanie. Now, granted, Betty wasn't trying to put her hands on Stephanie, but had she been trying to put her hands on Stephanie, she would have been able, like Kat did, oh girl, she would have been able to sneak her ass and get a couple of good wallops in, because Stephanie didn't see her coming, didn't know she was back there. So Stephanie was like, yo, y'all just gonna let this woman walk up on me? Nobody said anything, nobody warned me. And Marie was coming in behind her. Marie was like, well, what you want me to do? You want me to make an announcement? Stephanie was like, hell yeah, me and her was just getting ready to fight. Y'all are my friends. Y'all gonna let this woman walk up on me, walk behind me? She could have done anything. She wasn't trying to hit you. She was just trying to get her luggage. Stephanie was like, I don't know that. Now on that, I do agree with Stephanie. I do. Y'all, I do. I know y'all gonna give it to me in the comments. I don't care. I agree with Stephanie. You gonna let this woman just roll up and just be behind me and you don't say nothing? Like, ain't nobody say, oh, here come Betty. Nobody, nothing. And again, Betty did just walk by and didn't do anything. But what if she was trying to do something to Stephanie? But here's where Stephanie, she turns around and gets into it with Marie and proceeds to put her hands around Marie's neck. I think the only thing that saved her from that ass whooping is the fact that Marie is on probation, honey. Because Marie ain't no punk. Marie, now. So anyway, Betty ended up leaving. I don't know. I guess they finally got Stephanie to calm down. Whatever. But at the end of the day, honey, next thing you know, they in LA, and they so happy to be in LA. Diana, Kat, and Marie, they in LA, honey. They done hooked up with their men, and they are happy. Okay, I don't know what we're gonna do about Miss Stephanie, but Stephanie, you be doing too much. Okay, you really escalate, and you feel like no matter what, you're always right, and you are not always right. And even if you are right, you just got to learn how to let shit go. Because at that point, it wasn't no need to keep arguing with Betty. Hell, the damage was done. If you feel like it was a bad thing, the damage was already done. So anyway, now we're in LA. and they're getting ready for the Pure Blanco launch and everything. And everything is cool. Marie has to go over to she got to go do a drug test, honey. Her lawyer called her. You know, she can be tested anywhere, anytime, any place. And they told her, well, that anywhere, anytime, any place, boom, it's happening now. So she had to go do a drug test, and they test for the last 3.5 days. And she was turning up in San Diego. They showed clips of them, and they was having themselves a good old time. But luckily, I think her levels were a little elevated, but not to the point where it was an issue. So she was cool with that. Then they built up this whole thing with Eddie talking about temptation. And it's hard to go legit. It's hard to be legit. You know, the temptation is there. And they show Eddie going on, you know, like it was like a little shady deal. He got a stack of damn money that he's handing this dude, and the dude gives him a duffel bag, and he's walking off with the hoodie on. Like, it was real extra. Like, they did a whole lot, right? They made it look, and I'm sitting here the whole time thinking, there's no way in the world that this is a legit, like, drug deal or nothing, because, first of all, they wouldn't put it on tape. Second of all, if they did put it on tape, then Eddie has to be in jail. Like, come on. Eddie gets back to the hotel. He done bought Cat a couple of puppies. Not one, but two. I got some questions. Wasn't Cat just complaining that he's not carrying his weight financially? How you got money to go out here and buy 2 French bulldogs? They are not cheap. If those were purebred, which I believe they probably were, that is not cheap. And why are you buying a dog, 2, in LA and gotta fly them back to Miami while you staying in a hotel? Cause the damn puppy peed on the floor while they were even talking. I'm thinking, Eddie, okay. I mean, I guess you were trying to. He said it was a nice gesture. Cat appreciated it and all that. And that's cool. But I was just thinking to myself, I think I would rather you would gave me that cash so I could put it on the bills. I'm just saying. But whatever. Anyway, we know all that was just, we know what that was. So they get to the party now. Eddie cannot go. I was thinking about this the whole time. I'm thinking, so wait a minute. Eddie's probation officer cleared him to go smoke weed. Like, that's basically what this is. But they cleared him to go on a trip. But he could not go to the launch party where basically all they was doing was smoking weed. But the party was a success. Everybody thought that the weed was great. They thought it was a great strand and all that good stuff that you look for in some good weed. They thought it was great. And for Michael, it was really just a full circle moment, you know, to be in the illegal drug trade, lose everything, go to jail, do what you had to do, and come back and be legit. Meant a lot. And he got emotional. He made his little speech about it. He had his mom's shirt on. Well, the shirt with, you know, his mom's face on it. And it was really emotional for him. And, you know, him and Marie had a moment. And I can appreciate it. I definitely can appreciate you being legit and you doing what you had to do. Now, the same thing you went to jail for, you doing now legit. And you about to make money hand over fist. We found out that they are going to be selling the strand nationwide at their, you know, dispensaries or what have you. And so I think that's great. I'm happy for you, Michael. I am happy for you, Michael. I don't even know you like that, but if I did, bruh, I you know, salute. Then we still see some more flirting between Diana and Magic. Now, I don't know if anything gonna go down with them. I don't know how many more episodes they gonna give us. So I don't know if it's something's gonna go down between them, honey. But it's cute to see them flirting. I like them. I think they're a cute little couple. So anyway, that's pretty much what went down. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.